For the first time in RJ Barrett's NBA career, he is a high volume, high efficiency pick and roll player. And while it's true the pick and roll frequency in the NBA is trending down slightly as teams adjust to different forms of attack, it's still the main engine of so much of what happens in the league. Teams have concocted so many ways of defending it, sometimes with two men, sometimes with five, but the inherent advantage is quite simple. Your defender is caught on a screen, is slightly behind the play, and you can mine this advantage for shots. RJ Barrett is doing just that. RJ had a couple years in New York where he was using pick and roll possessions a lot, but he was never able to convert them at a high rate. In fact, in 2021-22, the third year for Barrett and the unofficial leap year for many star wings, Barrett's most common play with the Knicks that year was as a pick and roll ball handler. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well. Barrett created less layups for his teammates, the threes he created for others didn't drop in often, and he missed a lot of his own looks. In Toronto, Barrett's most common play is the pick and roll and with a bullet. The Raptors run a lot of triangle concepts. They love playing off of Jakob Poeltl, but when they want some of that normative and dependable creation, they turn to RJ for a pick and roll and an elite one. Before we go any further, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel, supports what we're doing over here. And if you want to read about this very topic, you can go to raptorsrepublic.com. Anyway, back to the video. The Raptors' scripted opening play against the Bulls was a ghosted ram screen from Grady that is more or less meant to shift around the Bulls' defense before RJ and Jakob initiate a good old-fashioned high ball screen. RJ gets the edge, slow plays it with Pat Williams on his hip, and slides the pocket pass to Poeltl once Nikola Vucevic plants his feet. Then we get Pirtle's slide step, which, God, it's so good. He has some of the best footwork in the league. It's so unbelievably good. And he gets a layup. That play really encapsulates why Barrett has been so much better. Barrett's pacing as a pick and roll ball handler has improved greatly, as has his playmaking overall. And the Raptors support those improvements with intentional play design and one of the best roll men in the league. And just as a quick note, Jakob deserves a lot of credit for most of the ongoing positives in the Raptors offense, but the Raptors are still a well below average pick and roll team on the whole. Poeltl, with his elite screening and finishing, is able to enhance Barrett's skills, which have been quite good on their own. RJ is the only pick and roll ball handler on the Raptors who's been able to clear 1 point per possession, and he's way ahead of everybody else. The Raptors can run a Spain pick and roll with Bruno Fernando as the big and Davion Mitchell as the back screener. Can you think of a worse combo? But as long as Barrett is the ball handler, he can drag multiple defenders to him and dump off to Fernando for a wide open dunk. Barrett can take a high ball screen with Jonathan Mobo and turn it into a slide behind the back feed for a layup. Everyone on the Raptors is a Poeltl merchant to some degree, but Barrett has the best, let's say, trade agreement with Poeltl by far. When it comes to gravity with the ball in hand, Barrett is pulling defenders everywhere. It's part of the reason why the Raptors shoot so much better on catch and shoot threes with Barrett making the pass. They're better shots with more clearance against contests. RJ has been sniping to the weak side corner for triples, yes, but there's also the matter of the harder digs that border on doubles that create great chasms of space for players like Grady and Ochai to launch from above the break. The Raptors are shooting 40% on spot-up threes out of Barrett pick and rolls for these reasons. As far as finding and assisting the roll man, rollers are shooting 75% inside the arc when Barrett is running the pick and roll. And again, this isn't just a Poeltl thing, as Poeltl is shooting 60% on pick and rolls as the roll man overall on the season. And one final wrinkle that the Raptors lean into as well, and credit needs to go to Coach Darko for this, is the off-ball cutting that the Raptors employ in their offense. Some of these are reactive reads, like a corner crash from Chris Boucher when his man takes a roller, but there's lots of scripted high-low actions that the Raptors like to place in the offense. They will invert a lot of the classic 5-out principles by shorting the pick and roll, and they use a lot of ball screens up top and Barrett's threat as a ball handler to create these ceiling opportunities. And an insane stat from Synergy, the Raptors have scored off of as many cuts on RJ pick and rolls this season as the Knicks did in Barrett's last 169 games. Same volume in 145 fewer games. That's nuts. So while the Raptors' environment has certainly helped elevate this skill of RJ's, he's providing his own value and largely building off of his improving physicality, which overwhelms most like-sized or smaller players, a burgeoning playmaking game, and a rugged resiliency that motivates him to rarely kill his dribble, hunt for rescreens, and to keep working downhill until he creates a great look for himself or others. Who knows what all of this looks like in the future when the Raptors are looking to win games, take the next step, and are tidying up some of their processes. But for now, the Barrett pick and roll remains a shining beacon for the Raptors offense. Not only has Barrett shot catch and shoot threes much better since he's been a Raptor, he's been a much better cutter since he's been a Raptor, and he's pushed hard in transition, of course. But the pick and roll playmaking and scoring is what really elevates him in the hierarchy of the offense. In fact, since Trey and I talked about maybe elevating RJ past IQ, since that conversation, he's been averaging 24 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists per game on 59% true shooting. You look at RJ's game, the resiliency, the willingness to create and do it against hard defensive matchups, it's really impressive, man. He's brought so much to the Raptors on offense, and he shows a lot of that grinding, innings eating type of offensive creation that the Raptors really do need. It makes me wonder at his young age, he still has a lot to develop in his game, work and get to the free throw line, work on what type of playmaking reads you make, and continue to batter yourself to the rim. I mean, who knows how much better he can get as far as his offensive process. He's been really impressive to my eye so far this season. Excited for what's to come. Thanks for watching. I've been Samson Folk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff that I always ask for that really helps the channel. Now we're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers. And if you want to read some of, in my opinion, the best basketball coverage in the world and definitely the best Raptors written coverage, go to raptorsrepublic.com. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you.